And so I don my dusty cowboy hat and do-rag wisdom, it's not even a do-rag, is wishing all of you a happy Y2K 20.01.16. So thank all of you for your patronage. In the background is the music for The Man with the Golden Arm, starring Frank Sinatra, and this is Elmer Bernstein. The Trumpist Party is the party that wants to shove its religious views. The teabagger Trump Party wants to shove its religious views so far up our fundaments that we end up taking halos and horns out of our mouths. Here is a party that evokes a God, and yet it intends to take an oath using the name of a deity to conduct a fair trial, and this is in regards to the Senate impeachment trial. They're going to take this oath, they're going to invoke the deity that they supposedly believe in, and they're swearing to conduct a fair trial, and none of these Trumpists, from Mitch McConnell, traitor, Putinist, all the way down, except for those few Republicans, pure Republicans remain there, they do not intend to honor their oath, their swearing unto the Lord. I mean, when it comes to violating a woman's right to choose, when it comes to all kinds of stuff, you know, gay marriage, stuff like that, the rights of every person, they're not there. They evoke God. They evoke the Bible from their intestines, actually from their anuses. God. Make sure the Supreme Court is packed with God-fearing creeps. God! In God we trust. I don't know what to trust, honestly, these days, folks. You can't trust what's in the federal government, and certainly you can't trust an invisible supreme being. I mean, for me, personally, it's all about luck, good or bad. And luck does not discriminate. You could be the nicest, the most saintly person in the world and get your vitals cut off. But all of these Trumpists evoke God. But they're going to swear. Mitch McDumbbell, Moscow Mitch, is going to swear. Going to raise his hand and swear to God that he's going to conduct an unbiased and fair trial. As imperfect and as corrupt the Democrats are, imagine Mike Bloomberg running. At least they are on our side right now for our rights. I mean, we have to work with the Democratic Party to make sure it becomes even better. Back in Y2K16, it was wrong to call Trump supporters despicable, because many voted for Trump because they fell for his con that he somehow was a different and would do well for our country. He would be different and he would do well. And there are people who didn't know about him, I knew about him for years and years, but there were people who were ignorant about him, but they sincerely thought that he was going to do something. And there was, of course, that year, we had the Democratic Party and its superdelegates, so they were choosing the candidate and the people weren't. It's amazing, isn't it? How your rights can be simply taken away. Well, the Trump dream turned out to be a nightmare. 4 years later, in our Y2K20 elections, those who still support Trump now right now, the new people, the ones, the 60 million or so, the 40% of our country who support this creep, can now, and I apologize for this, that's why I separate Republican from Trumpist. Because Bill Weld, who's running against Trump, he's a Republican. I don't agree with his conservative principles in many ways, but that's a classic Republican of our two-party system. If you now support Trump, now, Y2K20, you have no problem supporting concentration detention camps for migrants and the separation of migrant children from their parents. Do you know how many lives, young, innocent lives, have been ruined by this? Don't bother to ask a Trumpist, because they don't care, and they are despicable, the new ones. No, 176 people crashed and was shot down by the Iranians. You don't think that Trump didn't have any culpability in that? Some responsibility that 176 people are now dead? People are now supporting Trump. These are Trumpists. They're despicable. And if you still support Trump, you also support his courting of worldwide dictators, including Putin. All roads lead to Putin. And in the latter case, Trump supports Putin's drive for world domination. I'm going to repeat that. The President of the United States, Trump, supports a dictator, Putin's drive for world domination. Through the destruction of NATO, through the dissolution of the liberal world order, through the downfall of the USA as we know it. If you look at our country today, oh, the economy is humming. I live on a fixed income. I need a good economy. But I don't want a good economy if it means that this dictator traitor is going to be in here another 4 years or beyond. Money's important, but not that important, ladies and gentlemen. I would prefer a lousy economy if that's going to make people wake up to the fact that we have a Putinist dictator in our lives. Trump is on call for Putin world domination. He is a traitor, and those who follow him are clueless traitors too. And there are around 60 million of them who support the Nazi Trump birther creep in our country right now. And they will be out 200% for the monster who now dwells in our White House, who's making us look like garbage in the entire world, who is undermining our security, who is downgrading our Constitution, has no respect for it, and who does not want to have a free election where he gets thrown out on his butthole. Where are you going to be on Election Day? It was just reported on the news that street demonstrations over the criminal president are down. There were tons of demonstrations when Nixon was supposed to be impeached. They had a thing in the old days when you could ride by the White House, honk if you want him impeached, and they had this demonstration. Well, that's down. There's none. You can't really get close enough to the White House like you could in the old days, but they say demonstrations are down. We are at war, folks. We are in a cold civil war. Putin is trying to take over the world, and our country stands in the way. But with Trump in charge, we have a cancer in our brain and in our heart. We need regular active resistance on the streets 24/7. Hypocrisy and treason cannot be tolerated in our free, constitutional, democratic republic. And those who support the fiend now in this election cycle support every evil thing that will take our country down, down, down into Putin land. Where are you going to be on Election Day?